You're tuned in to the DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is John Inscriptor, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast, the DMV's home for high school basketball. Hosted by Kirk Cross and featuring Chelsie Cross. We bring you the latest news, interviews, rankings, recruiting buzz, and standout performances from the public and private school basketball scene across Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Stream us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, Kirk Cross.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. As always, I'm Kirk Cross. She is
Chelsie Cross.
We are at the DMV live on the campus of Bullis, the Bullis School here in Potomac, Maryland. We're seeing lots of action all day. We've got coaches, we've got players. Chelsie, it seems like this week we have been blessed because we had one of the most tenured coach in Montgomery County. And now we've got a guy sitting here with us who 20 win seasons seems to be the standard. She almost ran out of space here. Before I'm going to introduce him, I'm sorry, Coach James Braxton is here from the Miller School. Let's welcome him. Coach, before I even get into any questions, which I always have some questions available, you said something in your huddle there that I really want you to expand on. You said to your team, don't let the game speed you up. Please tell us more about that.
Well, it's a situation where, you start to get pressured a little bit in games. And instead of you losing your cool, you just kind of let the game come to you rather than passing before you're ready. And I felt like we did that a few times down the stretch, and that kind of cost us a close one.
Okay, all right. So, I can read everything on here, everything you've already heard. You have a couple state championships under your belt, huh?
Yes.
Maybe 7?
Yeah, I think we've got 8.
Got it.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
See, someone didn't put the right number on the card.
Oh, sorry.
We've got double-digit conference championships. You've won 76% of your games. Coach of the year 4 times. 20-plus win seasons, like she said, is the standard. What keeps you coming back, Coach?
It's just the kids. I've always had good kids, and I get them to play together, and they do play well together. And we get excited for one another. So it's hard for me to kind of walk away from it. I've been around it for 28 total years, I've been at Miller for 23.
Okay.
But anyway, just sticking to it, doing what's best for our kids, and and giving and hopefully they'll get a chance to play college basketball. If not, go on into college and get a degree. We try to tell our kids, let basketball, don't let basketball use you. You use basketball.
Use the sport,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Well, one thing he did not say was you didn't stress or talk about wins. You want to make them better people, get them to the next level, right? And that kind of thing. And I can appreciate that because, I'm a firm believer that the wins, they'll come find you.
That's right.
If you develop like you're supposed to, if these young ladies are ready to be productive citizens, if they respect the game,
yes.
if they want to play together, they want to, pass the ball instead of look at the box score after every game. You've seen the player, right?
Yes.
Who after every game, they grab the box score. How many I score? I had one of those here last year that we interviewed, actually. Not one of yours, but we had her last year, didn't we? Did we interview her last year?
Yes, Ella Jackson.
Ella Jackson. Yes. We had her.
Yes.
Is this her senior year?
This is her senior year.
All right. So you've seen her for a minute.
Yes.
You see them come all the way through.
Yes.
What is your biggest joy with these young players?
It's just kind of the time we get to spend, especially like during the winter. We're on the road all the time at showcases and playing our regular season games. Right. We usually get about 30-some games in the season.
Right.
That's one good thing about independent school basketball. You can play some.
Right.
Compared to the publics where you get 22 games. And
that's what you get.
Yeah, then you get the rest of your run, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that makes it fun. Like I said, I've had kids from all sorts of countries and all areas of the United States, and we just enjoy having them on our campus. And we're a boarding school, so we really get to know them. I'm there on campus doing some other things during the day and at night with the study halls and stuff. So it's just getting to know each other and getting a good vibe. Like you said, being good people from the start, and then from there, just being prepared for real life. Because
that's the key. We have some situations, public and private,
Yeah.
where you get some adjunct coaches who are not necessarily in the building.
Right.
And while I can't take away from their talent as a coach, it really helps that you're on campus.
Yes.
So you see these young ladies at lunch.
Yes.
You see them in study hall.
Yes.
You see them when they're out there. You see them at the dance on the weekends, right? When they go to the socials.
That's right.
So you can keep an eye on them. Right? You can check the grades.
Right.
Make sure they're checking all those boxes.
Yes.
You and I are in a similar situation. For 24 years, I coached the girls' sport in high school, and I coached Division III college.
Okay.
This game is a lot different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a lot different. Social media makes it different. The way we market the game makes it different. And what has been the biggest jump for you? You and I back in the day, you had to look at the box scores. That was it. And I'm talking about the box scores in the newspaper. Yeah. That's how you heard it. And the women's game didn't get the shot it gets now.
That's right.
There was no DMV Live 20 years ago.
Correct.
What's that biggest jump, and how do you feel like it helps the game?
To be honest with you, I'm not a huge social media fan, but I know the kids use it well,
right.
And that's a good thing. Like I said, we grew up with no cell phones, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? We couldn't just kind of twiddle our thumbs all the time. So I do think in ways that kind of takes away from their production some, because we used to be outside in the summertime playing basketball on a paved court with 100-degree weather.
Asphalt.
Asphalt.
Right.
But now we're using our thumbs a little bit. So I do feel like that's changed the game a little bit. And I feel like, kids are going to personal trainers a decent amount, where we definitely had way less personal trainers. Right. I mean, we got personal training. If you made it to the NBA, you paid for a trainer. Right. But nowadays these kids are getting, the training, individually, which I love it. But I do feel like sometimes it's hard for kids to take that individual training and put it into a game situation. You can go out and train all day long, but if you don't understand the game, then you're behind the 8 ball. So I'm a firm believer in just basics, footwork, pivoting. And
shell drill, let's go.
Yes. I mean, help the helper. I mean, it's basic basketball. And I think that's what we're missing out in the game right now. It's some basic stuff. Now the and ones and the Euros, it's there. Right. But knowing the knowledge of the game is, I think, we're lacking.
Coach, they got massage guns, Coach. You and I know that you go out there, you pick your 4, you hope you get next, you playing against someone older than you who wants to take your head off, right? And you keep going. Yeah. And you don't call foul all the time. It is different. Yeah. You know me, I'm the 84 by 50. I want to put a big man. You know why I think the next one? Because Wemby wouldn't put his big self on the block. Stay in the paint. You bigger than everybody else.
That's right.
I want a drop step. I want an up and under. That's all I want. I want John Thompson, big man university.
Yes, that's right.
But I'm not getting that back.
Yeah.
Because if you're 6'10", well, no matter what size you are, you shooting a 3.
That's right.
You shooting the 3.
You want to be a stretch 4.
Yeah. No, I want a traditional 5 who rebounds, blocks shots, and just puts the ball in that little square on the glass.
That's right.
Just put it right in there.
That's right.
It'll go in almost every time, won't it?
Right. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in the backboard too. I used it totally when I was playing, and we had a situation yesterday. We had a nice play, and then all of a sudden we try to just touch it and put it in. That's one of the toughest shots in the game, when you got the backboard right there for you. Right. That's what it's for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Put it off the backboard.
Put it off the backboard. But that's not flashy for some folks. So we'll leave it
2
there.
2 points is 2 points,
yeah,
Coach.
That's right.
Chelsea, what you got?
Coach, tell me, why girls?
Good question. So I started at my school, a school I graduated from, Louisiana County High School down in Virginia. So I did JV boards for 2 years. And I helped on the varsity, and we were good on the varsity level. And I got away from the game for 1 year, and then had an opportunity to choose between boys and girls. And what happened was, on the boys' side of this high school, they had assistants that had been there for a long time, and on the girls' side, they didn't. Okay. And so I actually took that job and fell in love with the game, and that's how it's been. And I've been fortunate enough to have 2 of my daughters that have played during my time there, and so I've been fortunate enough to kind of get some of their kids to come. I mean, their friends to come to our school and stuff, so they kind of helped me recruit. But once I got into girls basketball, it was like I was all over. I mean, I felt like at the time, women's basketball wasn't what it could be, and I do feel like I've done a good job at trying to promote it and trying to help it along. So that's kind of why I stuck with it.
Coach, I'm looking at how you helped it right here on my interview card. Of course you helped it. Are you familiar with the name Dan Harwood? He's one of the most storied coaches in Montgomery County. He has Hall of Fame. He's coached for 40 years. No, you haven't coached for 40. I'm not putting you in his age bracket. But I think we've been lucky this week. We got Harwood. We got Coach Braxton. You got to be kidding me. Coach, you're down in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours away. It's not super far. No. Why this live period? You could have picked any live period. Why are you here?
It's just through some of the coaches I've coached against for years. I just kind of found out they were doing it, and then we started to do it. Sometimes we don't always do something during the summer because we have a decent amount of international kids. So
Okay.
A lot of times they're already gone home. Like this summer, we were fortunate enough that they could stay.
Okay.
And so they'll start leaving now. But this is the area that you want to be in. I mean, the Maryland, D.C. area is full of talent. I mean, loaded with talent. So why not come up and play against the best? So that's what we're looking for.
And we found some teams locally here who want to be in these summer leagues and these live periods because they beat up on each other all year long. Mm-hmm. They want to see some other competition.
Right.
But we also see teams from Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Carolina. They want to come up here and they find out DMV hoops is a little different.
Oh, yeah.
They find out. I think you have a question.
When people think of the DMV, they think of the metro area.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the DMV outskirts and how those still have that basketball strength.
Yeah. So, we're an hour from Richmond or so.
Yeah.
And then we're probably another 2 hours and a half from like Greensboro or so. And so like the AAU team I coach for, it's a Phoenix group. The Delaney Road heads up. Delaney played at Wake Forest and played for Utah and played in Turkey for a long time. But I coach one of his groups, and it's Phoenix, Virginia. So between Richmond and between Greensboro is where we pretty much kind of lay our heads.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we play a lot. So when we get down to that Greensboro, Carolina area, back to it with the whole basketball deal again, because that's Tobacco Road, and they do it. So that's pretty much how we try to approach the game, is just try to get where the competition is. Because in Charlottesville, it's good. There's decent competition. St. Anne's Belleville's good, but outside of that, it's public schools, and right now, public schools in our area are probably a little bit behind us as far as basketball goes.
Wait a minute. If you think, so you were probably coaching 20, you said how many years?
23 at Miller, 28, about 26
In the
total.
In the Virginia area, though.
Yes.
Charlottesville High School, they won a few 23, 24 years ago, didn't they?
I think they got to the state championship game.
I think they lost one and won one.
They lost one to Magna Vista because I played college basketball for one of the kids who beat them in the state championship game on a three-pointer.
On the girls' side, though.
On the girls' side, yes. You're talking about Harry Terrell.
Because one of my players at Trinity College, Morgan, played down there, and they finally got their rings. They never got rings.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah,
She probably played with a kid who played at VCU. They used to call her Kitty Cat. Barber was her last name, but really good player. But yeah, I think it was Coach Terrell, Harry Terrell.
Morgan Smith. I will tell you to this day. Go ahead, Chelsie. What do I always say about Morgan?
Morgan Smith.
Oh, that she's your smartest
Basketball player I ever had.
Oh, really?
So my first year of coaching college ball, let me explain something to you. I went from JV girls basketball in an independent school of 300 kids, that's 6 through 12, to Division III assistant. Man, that game moves a lot faster in college. And just the knowledge.
Yeah,
the knowledge. You don't have to explain sets to them. You don't have to explain screen and roll. You don't have to explain spaces and angles. They got it all.
Yes.
And that's what blew my mind. And Morgan was the smartest basketball player I ever coached. Actually, she's from Charlottesville. I wanted her to be my assistant when I coached. I couldn't get her. I got one of my other alum from that college. We've been undefeated, actually, but Morgan was the smartest.
Okay.
So I can't. If I have to say anything about Charlottesville, y'all produce some smart basketball players. Coach, here's a question. Two questions. I like to finish off with, and Chelsie, if you have anything, go for it. Second to last question is, we ask our players to always take the off season, perfect something, or come back with a new skill in November. Mm-hmm. As a coach, what do you want to bring back to your team next fall?
I always try to build off of, our mistakes, and we do this daily in practice. I mean, when we come through the first part of my practice, I usually say, hey, this is what we struggled with a little bit, and then we'll spend some time on that. So pretty much during the summertime, I'll just say, hey, they'll say, well, what do I need to work on? Well, ball handling, of course, but getting stronger, getting in that weight room is one thing that I always kind of lay on our kids about. So it's just, just being ready. I mean, making sure you're playing some good competition. Or don't go play on the AAU team where you're not going to play. I mean, don't look for something too big.
Right.
Get something where you can play and you can get some playing time. Because if you're not getting burned during the summer, then that's a tough one. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to tell my kids. Just go somewhere where you can play. Don't go to some AAU program that's maybe you feel like, hey, coaches are going to see me, but if you're not going to play, they're not going to see you. You're going to see you over
You
the
paying
pond.
$4,500 a season. You got the flashy jerseys, and Mama done paid $40 to see you play, and you only getting 2 minutes.
Yes, right? Absolutely.
Last question, and well, my last question. You got the last one, Chelsie. Why should our listeners find themselves in Charlottesville come December watching y'all play? What are we going to see?
Good quality basketball. A team that's playing sound basketball together. We're yelling to each other one more on the passes. We're learning how to help the helper. You know, just being vocal and being a good teammate. That's what it all boils down to. And even if you're the 12th person on our bench, you've still got to be vocal and be a part of what we're doing and be positive about it. Right. So, but I think you would see some good, exciting basketball with some kids who can really play. And I've got about 9 or 10 kids who can play, and I try to play them all. It is tough sometimes, but just trying to. I think you see a good program.
Coach, you're doing it because I looked back as far as like 11 and 12, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw only 2 or 3 times where you didn't win 20. And one of those times was COVID. COVID beat you that year,
yes.
right?
Yes,
but other than that,
definitely.
You're always winning. Chelsie, you want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, Coach, I'm wondering, when you've done it for so long, it can almost seem like you can't have goals for your team or for yourself. So what are your hopes for this season, and why do you keep doing it?
You know, I do it because I love the game. You know, I love to play it. I love to coach it. And it's been about 3 years since we've won a state championship. So the kids are really hungry.
You getting that itch?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really hungry. I don't really say, hey, when we start, I say, hey, the goal is to win the state championship, but it's also to be the best that we can be. But yes, our goal this year would be to win the state championship. And like I said, we lost in the semis last year to Virginia Academy, who's really good. And I think that what they saw last year, and as far as we got, only push them even further. So I look to a very successful season. I think we should be in great shape.
If you find yourself in the Mavericks gym this season, you're going to see something special, and I'm going to call it right now. I think we should expect to see them on the state stage.
I think so.
In some way, shape, or form. Coach Braxton, thank you. First of all, thank you for giving to the game.
Absolutely.
A lot of these folks out here are out there for the wins, and they're out here for the gear. They're out here for the notoriety. Coach, you're not doing it for that. You're doing it for these young ladies. You're pouring into them, and their families are buying in. So thank you for making the game better.
Yes, sir.
This is the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Kurt. She's Chelsie. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the DMV Hoops Podcast, your home for high school basketball coverage across the DMV. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Follow us on Instagram and X at DMV Hoops Podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kirk Cross, featuring Chelsie Cross. Thanks for listening.